I'm Plexi Cosplay. If you purchased Jane Foster's foam cosplay kit, it should have come in the mail, and when it gets to you, you'll have all the pieces you need to assemble the helmet all by yourself at home. So this is the assembly video. I'll show you how to put them all together to make Jane Foster's helmet. Let's get started. So you want to make a Lady Thor helmet. You're kind of new to the game, or maybe you just wanted to cut out a bunch of the busy work and you bought our foam kit. Welcome to the pre-made foam kit land where everything is easy. Most of the stuff is done for you and all you have to do is put it together. So you're going to need some barge contact cement or weldwood, doesn't matter, I prefer barge. In our foam kit you're going to get 2 layers of 6mm foam that has the pre-cut shapes for most of the major helm pieces. You're going to have 1 piece of 4mm foam that has a lot of the face structures. Those are already cut out here for you. And then you're going to have 2 little pieces of 2mm foam. These are the overlays that go on the wings for the side of the helmet. Once you have all these things, they're probably going to come where they're stuck in the foam a little bit. So all you have to do is pull these out of the foam. Just go very gently so that you don't tear into the actual piece, but just pop them on out. If you do have any sides that just are a little bit too stuck in the foam, you can just take an X-Acto knife and just trim up the edge. Alright, once you have all of your pieces punched out, you can go ahead and set them up here into their different shapes. So you have both of the wings, they're going to be reversed, but they look the same on both sides. Unless it's a 2mm, they have engravings on specific sides. You have the 2 back helmet pieces, the front helmet pieces, and then of course your face pieces. So these ones, most of these do not have registration keys or parts that you can match up because there's plenty of engraved sections that are easy to see where they match up. So you're going to match them up as the glue dries and you attach the pieces together. You're going to match up where the engravings are. The way that this works is that you have the front pieces here, they go together. The back pieces have an engraving on each side that kind of go in a swoop. You can match up the sides of those to the front. I typically do the back pieces, attached to the front, so I do 2 front pieces together first, and then I attach 1 back piece, attach the other back piece to this side, and then at the very end connect the very back of the helmet together to make that nice rounded shape. So we're going to go ahead and start gluing. I'm going to glue the top 2 sides of the front panels and then the top of the triangle of the back panels as well. Go ahead, whenever you do contact cement, you add the contact cement, allow it to dry for about 5 minutes. It depends on what type you have, and then it has to be fully dry, just a little bit tacky, and then you can attach the pieces together. While these are drying, you can also go ahead and begin the wing pieces. It, I guess, depends on how you feel about what you want to do. So with the wing pieces, you want to make sure that you have opposite sides. So you have one that's going to go like this and one that's going to go like this. You can see where they have engraving marks here. There's 3 on one edge and then it kind of goes up towards the back. So it might take a little bit of fiddling around to figure out which way is which, but put them on the 6mm bases so that you know that whenever you flip them back over, you're going to be gluing these sides. One tip here is that you can take a Sharpie. While you have your 2mm overlay on top of the 6mm base, there's a little cutout here. It's to add a little more depth. Go ahead and trace that. Don't glue in there because you're not going to need it. So I'll do that on this side as well. Now I'm going to start adding glue to all these sections and let them dry. Okay, I'm going to pause on this here because I know that my other pieces are probably already dry for my helmet. So I'm going to go ahead and put these together. Like I said, I like to put my front pieces together first. So starting at the bottom, which is closest to the eyes, I'm going to push the pieces together, lining up where any of the engravings or the rasterings are. You'll see as you start to put it together that the helmet will begin to curve, and that's exactly how you want it to go. I also like to use the table to kind of push the seams together at the curves because that can get a bit difficult. And then you can also just keep an eye on the wings here as they dry. So I'm going to begin to put my back panels together. Again, you're lining up where the engravings are, so just be careful not to do it backwards. Alright, so I've got my side panel there. I'm going to do my other side panel, and then I'll push them together in the back. It can be a real pain to do curved sections as you're trying to push the glued pieces together, so just take your time. You can also kind of do it backwards, like inverse, and then push it out whenever you're done if that's easier. So you've got your base helmet together now, and we can begin. Oh, don't forget to finish your wings. So I already did one wing that's glued together, and I'll do the other one next. As we're waiting for, if you have, I'm just cleaning up some little seams here that I didn't quite glue the whole way. We can go ahead and start on the face pieces. So we're going to glue these two together right here at the nose. And then we're also going to glue these two together at the registration marks. These two registration marks are going to be the inside, just so that they're covered up. So go ahead and glue those. Once you have the glue dry on these face pieces, we're going to put those together. For this piece in particular, we need to bend it at the nose so it kind of comes around and pushes down in towards the eyes. To do this, we use a heat gun. Make sure that as you heat it, you keep pushing that seam together because contact cement, when you heat it like that, does tend to pull apart at the seams here. So again, we're just making a little nose bridge, then bending it in at the eyes. We'll be gluing this one first. It's going to go here at the bridge of the eyes, and we're going to kind of angle it inwards if we can as we glue it. So go ahead and glue underneath here, as well as on the top of this one with the ends pointing down. I'm going to also go ahead and glue the top of this. And glue just in the middle of this on the bottom. That's where it will connect. Well, very exciting, you're in the home stretch. So we've got our entire helmet together, the base parts of it. Now we're gonna go ahead and put the top part of the eye section together. So you're gonna start at the middle, just sort of angle it inwards as you attach the glue. And we also went ahead and glued the top part of this so we can attach that as well. Again, I start at the middle, and I have this so that it's got higher edges here, you can go ahead and kind of just bend them in slightly. Start at the middle. It'll give you a nice curved section there in the front. So our next step, whenever you get your package in the mail, is that there's going to be a picture of this with dotted lines on where this is going to get glued. So let me go ahead and pull that out, and I'm going to cut out the piece of paper. So when you got your package, you're also going to get one of these. This is a picture of the side helmet piece, well, the front helmet piece, and it shows where things should get glued. So I'm going to go ahead and cut. There's dotted lines where it says glue lower face section, glue wing. I'm going to cut the top of that. You could do it either from the top or the bottom, it doesn't matter. So line it up. And then what I like to do is use a Sharpie. And we are going to just trace, my Sharpie's almost dead, where these seams are. Flip it over for the other side. And it should pretty much come, you want it to come to the edge of the top eyepiece. We're gonna glue right up to that. So this part's here. Once you've traced that first one, what you can do is now cut where it says glue wing here. And now we can also line that up. This face section doesn't come the whole way down to the wing, it kind of stops here, so you can also do that. So now you've got kind of a guide on where you add your glue. I'm going to go ahead and do the face section first. So again, we're going right up to pretty much the edge of this top eyepiece and gluing it right in there. I'm going to go ahead and glue the inside of the top eye sections as well. This isn't in the original directions, but I found that I actually liked to glue it to the edge of the bottom pieces, and we'll add that glue later as soon as we are able to attach it to the helmet. So I'll show you, but go ahead and again glue the helmet, glue the underside of the top of the eyepiece, and then glue the side of the top eyepiece right here. And let it dry. Alright, so it's time to assemble the eye pieces. Now what we can do is take some of your glue. I have a spatula here. You can put it on the inside section where the top portion meets the bottom. This is optional. I just like to do it because I thought it looked nice. And let that dry for a little bit. And we can also now add glue to the wings where they're going to get added. Fortunately, we already drew on here where they're going to be, so it shouldn't be too difficult. I like to add glue all the way to the front and then just past the midline here. Here we're going from this top corner down and then also down in a triangle. Go ahead and let that dry, and while that's drying, we go back to our helmet and push together the edges of the top eye sections where we had added glue. If you did. If you didn't do that, it's okay. I'm going to do it on this other side as well. I like to just make sure all my seams are kind of pushed together as much as they can be. We're going to fill it in afterwards to clean it up. Okay, so the final thing is to add the wings. I want you to go ahead and flip it around. Make sure the 3 engravings coming off the tip is at the bottom, and then the large part of the wing goes towards the back. I like to line up the top corner here with the edge and push it together. Now you've got yourself a Thor helmet.